Katina with Living Life's Little Blessings, and welcome to Project Life Tuesday. I guess I always end up doing a Project Life video on Tuesday. I wanted to do just a really quick update. I'm not going to be showing you guys anything spectacular today, but I did want to do an update because it's what's really going on in my life. For anybody who's new to my channel, I do a Project Life family album, and then I do an album for each of our kids all year long. So our family album stretches from January to December, and then each of my kids' albums stretch from their birthday to their birthday. So Kayla's album, her birthday's in January, her album goes from January to December. Violet's birthday is in November, her album goes from November to October. You get the idea. So right here I have Violet's album and Kayla's album, and then I have Andrew's album. I do a mini album when my kids are 2. Andrew's 2 this year. So like Violet had a mini album last year and it's all complete. And then Andrew has a mini album happening this year. So I just wanted to kind of go over what I do. I get questions a lot about how I keep up on all the albums that I do, and the truth is that I don't keep up on them. So here's what really happened. I got moved into my room. I got all of our family stuff caught up. I knew that I needed to spend a chunk of time dealing with our family album, and I did that over the last couple weeks. I've had a really great time doing that. I really missed keeping up with that and printing weekly, and I'm back to printing my photos weekly. I get them printed on Friday nights, and that's when I do my Project Life, is Friday nights. So I knew I needed to take a look at the kids' albums because I just knew from thinking about it that I really hadn't spent any major time on them. Really, I don't really think I spent major time on them this year at all. So we're getting ready to go into May, so I knew I really needed to take a look at them and figure out what was going on. So Andrew's album is really easy because I set up his whole album already. So I just do like 1-page spread per month or 2 spreads depending on what's going on. And so I used the vintage travel kit for him for this year because of the colors, because they're muted, and then they have some like icons like that, like some pictures like the little bicycle, and they have a little like I think they have a train. They have like these maps. I just thought it was like really little boyish. Like I thought it would work really well. So I've already set up his whole album, and I just have sticky notes on whichever they like. That's February, March. So I just know this is April. So I just know to go and stick my photos in. And then at the end of the year, really, it'll be like right at his birthday, I'll go back and probably journal all of it and add anything extra. Or if I just get, you know, if it hits me, a whim hits me, I'll go back and do the journaling. I never really worry about that. I know it will hit me when it hits me. And I have a really good memory, and I document things really well every day, so I can go back and look at my notes or look and see what happened if I didn't really remember, or look at my phone, my calendars. I just document a lot. So I knew his was okay, so I went and dropped all the photos in his, and then his was done. So the girls' albums was a totally different story. So let's take a look at Kayla's first, because I did remember that I had spent some time on Kayla's. So with Kayla's album, this is just a album that I got. It's a Becky Higgins album. Got it at Michael's, and then 2 years is in one album, and I think that's probably all I'm going to get in here. I can tell it's getting pretty full. So I just have tabs that I created right here on the edge here, and like this says 2013, and then there's another tab right there that says 2014. So 2013 is not all complete, and I knew it was, and I knew there were some gaps I needed to fill in. I knew mainly it was my title cards that needed months put on them, and then I knew there was a few places that I needed to go back and find pictures for. So what I did this last weekend is I just went through. I knew I had sat and done a bunch of journaling in her album recently because I recalled doing that. So I just went through and I stamped all the months, because that's basically what I needed to do, was stamp in the months on the title cards. And I just kept it really simple. just simply because I just didn't have the time and I just want to get through this. I just want it to feel complete. And then I made notes of where there were spaces. There was a space right here. Originally, I wanted to find a photo. Originally, the spots in here were because I needed photos. Now, when I bought my Mac computer 2 months ago, well, originally when I had the computer issues in January, I do have my photos backed up. But that's the issue. They're backed up. I've had 2 different computers this year. With my Mac computer, I don't want to all boggle down with all my stuff. So I've left everything that was backed up. I left backed up. I didn't put it on my computer. So the honest truth is, I don't want to go back and go to my backup system, find the photo. I don't feel like going into Snapfish, finding the photo, even though it would be very easy. I have a really good system. Everything's named the same. I could probably, if I put the effort into it, find it in a matter of 10 or 15 minutes. I just don't feel like it. So I stuck a 4x6 card here that I'll do some journaling on. Here is July, and I needed photos for right here. They're blank because maybe I want the photos. I don't know. I'm not sure why there's 2 spaces. I don't have notes on here like I usually do. So that's the thing. So that's basically what I went through and did for Kayla, is I went through and I stamped all my title cards, and then I filled in some gaps. Like this insert right here had some gaps. These weren't filled in yet. You can see there's no journaling because these cards actually weren't in there. So I went ahead and I did that. And then I realized through October was pretty good. I need to obviously fill in just 1 or 2 photos and then fill in a few pieces of journaling. I'm okay with that. I can sit down and do that. But then I don't have anything for November, and then December is lacking, which December is lacking in all of my kids' album because I didn't print enough photos when I got December's photos done. So then what I did for her to go into the next year is, this is December, so this page right here, I obviously wanted to do a title page for 2014, so that then leaves this situation over here. I wasn't sure what to do with it. So I actually asked Becky Higgins, and I took a class of hers the last couple months, and she had 3 different times where she chatted with the students of the class, and I actually asked her what her suggestion would be to do for something like this, either when you're going to a different design or like a different designed page protector, or you have this situation where you have, you know, like I just wasn't sure what to do with it. And actually her suggestion made a lot of sense, and she suggested that you just put a piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper. And I thought, why didn't I ever think of that? That's perfect. So that's what I decided to do, is just put a piece of pattern paper here that sort of matched this title page. So I did a title page. I need to get a photo for her. So now we're into 2014, and I've set up pretty much her whole album. So I did a title card and cards through the middle. So I did that. And you can see, like, here's February, all the cards are in. March, April, May. The great thing about that is this is exactly what I did this weekend, where I knew I hadn't really worked on it since January, and I haven't done any of the journaling. And I had some memorabilia that I wanted to get in here. So I knew that both of these things happened in April. So I was able just to go to my April section, and I have dividers and Kayla's as well, and then I just stuck these in. This was something she did in Sunday school, and then this was something that she did at home, and then to back it I just put pattern paper, and then I'll just use whatever to drop in there or layer whatever I need to do in there. So then I just have the rest of it set up, and so I realized with hers I just need to get some photos. I didn't get enough photos printed in February and March because that's when I was going through the renovations in the house and things were crazy. So for both of the kids' album, there's not a lot, both of the girls' albums, there's not a lot in February or March. So that's where I was with Kayla's. And then same thing with Violet. Now Violet had a mini album last year, so I don't have, hers is just this first year. in here. So I have a title page, and then her birthday is in November. So her albums go from November through October. So this is December, and see, I don't have pictures. I actually do a spread for November. These are like after their birthday, but before the next month starts. So because her birthday and stuff is in her last album, so I need pictures of November. And then here's December, and I have photos, I just need to get them printed. And then here's January. Here starts January. So again, I just have some memorabilia in here. I've stamped January on this, and it looks pretty good in January. And then I ended up having 2 spreads for January. There just ended up being more photos than would fit in one, which is always fine. And then February looks good. And then with violets, I might be putting 2 spreads per month, because this looks like, again, this is more of February. And then here's March, which has nothing. And then here's April, so I dropped in that memorabilia. And hers, I just have title cards in. I have not gone through and put in 3x4 cards. I need to do that. And so that's what I've been working on. Is I always feel like if the cards are in and I can just go in and slip photos in, then all the other stuff, when I have a chunk of time, I can work on it. Like the journaling, the embellishing. I always get to a point where I'm really caught up on all my other projects, and I'm caught up on my family album, and I just have that itch to scrapbook and project life. And so it's always wonderful when that happens, to grab the kids' albums out and work on theirs and embellish them up more, or make them more pretty, or do, you know, all the extra stuff. To begin with, I just like to have their album set up for the year. It's done in monthly themes. So, you know, summer months, I use more fun summer-ish cards. In the fall, I do more fall-ish cards. You know, for the holidays, I do holiday cards. You can see this is February, and I did pink and the flowers, and then I did the love. This was all from the blush cord kit. So I knew that that would work really well for February, because we would have Valentine's Day photos and it wouldn't be a far stretch. For March, I used a lot of different kits. This is from the craft kit, the jade kit, the clementine kit, the jade kit, and then the honey kit. And then these are clementine, and then that's jade. I did an orange. So this particular month, I just did an orange. This is, again, this is jade. These are clementine. This is honey. Not sure what that one is. That might be jade. So then, like, this is midnight, and it's yellow. This would be April, May. This will be June. This will be July, August, September, and then you can see I'm not even done. So violets is the one that really needs the most work, and I will be doing that because they're out. So anyways, that's my update on the albums, on the kids' albums. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, please leave a comment, and I'd love to answer them. I'm trying in these Tuesday segments to really just address questions that I get asked a lot of, and share with you guys what I do. So thanks for coming by. Remember, free shipping all this week on Stampin' Up orders, so it's a great time to place those orders. And thanks guys. I'll be back tomorrow with another project.